What? Also, Happy New Year. Good to be back. Why? Like, what? I need. I'm just. You know what? Just never mind. Let's just read the article. Several men arrested after dispute over secret tunnel in Brooklyn synagogue. Secret tunnel. Anyway, brawl erupted between police and those who created passageway and wanted it to remain at Chabad Lubavitch headquarters. A group of men belonging to a Hasidic Jewish community in New York were arrested on Monday amid a dispute over an illegal tunnel secretly dug into the side of a historic synagogue, which has since been closed. Action by law enforcement after the tunnel came to light led to a brawl between police and those who had created the passageway and wanted it to remain. Now, there's all kinds of story. Basically, this thing grew a lot of arms and legs, right? So let me just read the article and then we'll go through a few theories. Action by law enforcement. Oh, I've just read that. The Chabad Lubavitch World Headquarters, located in Brooklyn's Crown Heights neighborhood in New York City, was in chaos on Tuesday as Jewish leaders and police faced off against what Rabbi Moti Seligson, a spokesperson for the Chabad, called a group of extremist students. And yeah, they were throwing benches and everything at each other and all that stuff. It was mental, right? But there was a few excuses gave. Basically, the people at the synagogue are blaming this on a younger group within the synagogue who are being classed as extremists, but we'll wait until the end. The building was once home to the Orthodox Jewish movement's leader, Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson. Anyway, and draws thousands of visitors each year. Schneerson led the Chabad Lubavitch for more than 4 decades before his death in 1994, reinvigorating a Hasidic religious community that had been devastated by the Holocaust. Seligson said the rebel students from within the movement had, now this is the part, secretly broken through the walls of vacant building behind the headquarters, creating an underground passage beneath a row of office buildings and lecture halls that eventually connected to the synagogue, right? So as you can see, like, the tunnel was pretty much like in the main hall and stuff like that, and also the basement and everything is completely full of dirt. So you're trying to say you didn't notice all those tunnels getting dug when the evidence was everywhere. Like, see, when you go into the basement, it's literally like about like 3 feet of dirt, like all the way through the basement. You're trying to say you didn't notice that. How did you not notice that? I think they knew, and they're just trying to blame the younger guys. A construction crew was brought in on Monday to fix the damaged walls, but was met with protests from the students who had created the tunnel. Those efforts were disrupted by the extremists who broke through the wall to the synagogue, vandalising the sanctuary in an effort to preserve their unauthorised access, Seligson said. The reason for the tunnel's creation remains undisclosed. So there were a few theories. People were saying that, oh, this was done during COVID, so that obviously because they were banned from like attending their ceremonies, so they dug secret tunnels so that they could sneak into the synagogue so that they could continue with the ceremonies. But then it turned out that the construction of the tunnel was only done in the last 6 months, and it got to the point where, as you seen in that picture there, it was like Alien, man, they're coming out of the goddamn walls. Man, like just popping out the sewer grate, as you do. Just when you're walking down the street, some people think that we just sprout out of the ground. Like, I don't know. It's like Teenage Mutant Heroes in a half hat. But yeah, like, I don't know. I don't know why it was done. Some people have some theories. After a dirty bloody mattress and a high chair was found down there. But there's just theories at the moment. Who knows? Maybe we'll find out one day. We won't. A New York Police Department NYPD spokesperson said officers were called to the building on Monday afternoon to respond to a disorderly group that was trespassing and damaging a wall. Those allegedly responsible for constructing the tunnel were arrested for criminal mischief and criminal trespass and for obstructing governmental administration, according to a spokesperson for the NYPD. And I did see that meme where it was like the most Italian police officer ever arguing with a Jew, and I seen the tweet that Pierre went, these guys' ancestors had a very similar argument a long time ago, which was banger. I don't know if you're a history buff, it's too much to go into. City inspectors were called to the site to conduct an emergency structural inspection. During the inspection, police officers stood behind barricades surrounding the headquarters, blocking a line of young men who wanted to enter the building. An anonymous tip about the location had been sent to the New York City Fire Department last month, but when a fire prevention team responded, all exits were found to be operable and up to code, according to Amanda Farinacci, a spokesperson for the agency. The NYPD has said the building is now closed pending a structural safety review by city inspectors. Now, there is very good reason for that because, you know, when buildings are constructed, you know, everything that is under the building, like it could be sewers, basements, maintenance tunnels, subways, blah, 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 is all taken into consideration, right? Depending on the layout, depends on how the building's foundation has to be constructed and how the land has to be prepared for the construction of the building, which means digging any tunnels or anything through that, you know, throws off the balance. It can throw off the structural integrity of the building. Like we saw in like my Mole Man video, basically the street started sinking like into the ground. So that was obviously, you know, pretty serious, you know, especially when like buses are going past and a bus could just fall through the ground and vanish in this big massive sinkhole. So obviously it's a concern. I completely understand why people are concerned about that. But the main thing is, why did they dig the tunnels? Because there's a bunch of entrances and exits like through the street. I mean, like as you can see here, it just pops out. It just pops out the ground like a fucking mogwai. I don't know why it's so funny. Right, but I want to know the why. Some people were saying they wanted to expand the temple for the glory of God or something like that. Some people are saying it was for COVID, even though the construction started long after COVID, but some people were saying that they were doing it in preparation for COVID starting again, in case the lockdown started again. Some other people have came up with some other theories about, I don't know, you don't know, we don't know, they know, well, they tell us, I don't know, right? I've absolutely no idea what way it's going to go, but the thing that I'm absolutely not buying, some pesky youngsters went in and filled the basement entirely with like 3 feet of soil and stuff like that, and it's like, right, don't piss my leg and tell me it's raining, right? You knew exactly what was going on. Don't pretend for a single second that you didn't notice that. Our entire basement has been rendered completely unusable. Shut up. Just shut up, right? I'm sorry, the entire thing's really funny. Like I mean, depending on the reasons that the tunnels were made, the whole thing's very, very funny. And I really hope that it remains funny because whatever.